that he had put her head on a shelf and screamed
at it for an hour, threw darts at it,
and ultimately smashed her face. He also cut her tongue out and her larynx and put them in a garbage disposal.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
I'm nobody. I'm a bum. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight razor if you get too close to me.
Do you ever feel violent?
Yes, I do.
What do you feel like doing?
Killing people.
You still feel like killing people?
Yes.
Describe the feeling that you get when you feel like killing people.
Well, last March 11th, I was hallucinating, and I took a razor blade and I cut a man's throat.
Here in the hospital?
Here in the hospital.
Do you think you'd murder me, Joe?
Yes.
That's gruesome, Joe. That's horrible.
Yes, it is.
And you don't blame me if I say I hope you never get out of this place.
I hope I never do either.
Welcome, all you true crime lovers. Sit back, grab that blanket and hot beverage, and prepare for another Saturday night of The Murder Show. Whose mind and story will we dive into tonight? Now for your host, Tim, and alongside him, his co-host, Criminology, Chris, and Classroom Jackie.
Before the world knew her name, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was a symbol of resilience. A tiny girl in a wheelchair, battling a long list of illnesses no child should ever face. Her mother, Dee Dee, stood faithfully by her side, a devoted caregiver, a tireless advocate, and a woman who seemed to give everything for her daughter. Communities rallied around them, doctors trusted them, charities opened their doors, and the story of a sick child and her selfless mother spread far beyond their small pink house in Missouri. But behind that story was a truth no one could see. A truth built on forged documents, fabricated diagnoses, and years of unnecessary medical procedures. A truth that left a young woman isolated, controlled, and convinced she was dying. A truth that would end in a violent crime that shocked the nation, not because of what happened, but because of why. On June 15th, Dee Dee Blanchard was found dead in her bedroom. Her daughter Gypsy was missing. And within hours, the world learned that nothing about their lives had been what it seemed. This is the story of a mother who built a life of lies, a daughter who believed she had no way out, and a murder that first forced the world to confront the devastating consequences of unchecked abuse. The Murder Podcast Show presents The Mother, the Murder, and the Lies.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Chris, I was told we can't see you in the camera. We can see your hands, though. Anyways.
Hi.
Yeah, he's here. Don't worry.
Hi.
Welcome, all you Murder Podcast show fans. I got to get my words together there. Welcome to another Saturday evening.
You guys are lucky.
Why? What happened?
I forgot my horn.
That's fine.
Yes!
You don't need it.
Oh.
Anywho,
You guys got the drum set.
Welcome to another Saturday evening here on the Murder Podcast Show. I am your host, Tim. Alongside of me is my co-host, Criminology, Chris. And
hi. Trying to make sure I'm actually in the...
He's got stage fright. It's okay. He's only been doing it for 5 months, and now he has stage fright. Alongside of my co-host is the director of all of our social media platforms, Classroom Jackie.
What's up, guys?
Welcome in, everybody. Kick things off here with our sponsors that always take care of us here on the show. First and foremost, we have Crafty Corner by Laura. Laura makes all handmade crochet items, jewelry, plushies, and more. You can check her out at on Instagram at Crafty Corner by Laura and on Etsy. You can also email them at thecraftycornercrochet@gmail.com. And then Dubby Energy Drink. Criminology, Chris and I are drinking those per usual. Amazing stuff. Doesn't give you jitters. When you come down off of it, it's fine. None of that hard come off shit like you're doing cocaine off a horse's ass. Anyways, And the focus on it, it really does. It gets you locked in, ready to go. So if you head over to dubby.gg, and when you purchase any of their products, be sure to use promo code MurderShow66 at checkout to receive 10% off. And last is Dochi Snacking edible cookie dough. It's in a jar, comes in various flavors from chocolate chip, WTF fudge brownie, basic bitch, and peppermint batty. This stuff you can either bake it or you can eat it straight out of the jar. It's gluten-free, plant-based, egg-free, all that stuff. It is phenomenal. And when you go to their website, Doichi Foods, DOICH Foods.com, be sure to use the promo code MurderShow66 once again at checkout, and you will receive $5 off of your orders. So, all right. Before we get going tonight, we've been really pushing, trying to get the ad out there for tonight's show. So we've got a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new people, but we're also getting some backlash, comments, which is fine. Everybody's allowed to speak their mind. The thing is, this is a very controversial subject here, and we're not trying to take sides. We're not any shape, way, form, anything at all, law people. We're just doing this case. We do this for fun. We do it on the side. So all I'm going to say is there's people that are like, well, you better not cover this if you don't know your, research. I hate to break it to people. It's my show and I'll cover whatever I want on my show. So my thing is, if you don't like it, we have moderators here in the chat. They'll boot you out. Keep the comments nice. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't follow us. I don't care. We're all still going to sleep well at night, whether you follow it or not.
We do it for fun. This is for entertainment value here, everybody.
So
we respect your opinions and where you stand, but we are by no way, shape, or form encouraging what happened, promoting what happened, or anything like that. Yes, we have to talk about it and mention it, but we are not supporting anybody.
We'll discuss it. We'll chat about it. And, if you want to listen, great. We'd love to have you,
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's up to you to formulate your own opinions, do your own research too. I mean, we're not telling you that we're like I said, the source of news for all things. This is just a good time for us.
Yeah.
So.
And obviously with this case, we are absolutely positively never going to be able to talk to the victim because she died. We're only going to have what we know, which is the facts that we've did a lot of research on, as well as interviews from people who were close to them. So all of this stuff, none of it is from the fictionalized or the fictional movies that are out there. This is all facts.
That's all it is, hobby for us, and we enjoy it. Listen, statistics, everything's growing. I mean, numbers are growing with the show. I am literally at all in shocked. Unsafe Snuggy's got her popcorn ready to go. That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
David, good evening. Welcome in.
We are 25 away from 1,000 on TikTok.
I'm telling you, streaming numbers for the streaming platforms, just the platforms, not even on here, are over 1,000 now. We literally have 121 streams in the last 7 days and 30 in the last 24 hours.
And we jumped 22 between last Saturday and this Saturday. We jumped 22 followers and subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, we're at 92 right now. So we thank everybody. I mean, the show is growing. I posted last week's episode. I usually post it the next day. And when I posted it, within the first 30 minutes, there was already one stream, it said. So it's like somebody's waiting, so that's great. But anyways, as you probably saw, and if you don't know, tonight we're covering the Gypsy Rose story. And there's a lot of people out there that have no clue about it. We will tune you into it tonight. It's going to get pretty wild up in here, but that's okay though. It's going to be a good show. We're stoked about it. Other than that, I am going to let Classroom Jackie start things off here.
Yeah. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was born on July 27th, 1991 in Louisiana. By all medical accounts, she was a healthy infant. She was extremely smart. When she was about 1-2-ish, she knew the cranium was her head, was her brain. She knew phalanges, all medical terms for every body part.
By 1 and 2?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
She was extremely smart. But her mother, Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard, began reporting health issues almost around the time when she was 4. Sleep apnea, feeding problems, seizures. None of these were confirmed by tests, but Dee Dee insisted something was wrong. Over time, the list of alleged illnesses grew. Dee Dee claimed Gypsy had leukemia, muscular dystrophy, asthma, developmental delays, and a host of other conditions. She said Gypsy needed a wheelchair, a feeding tube, and dozens of medications. Doctors, charities, and neighbors believed her. In a statement from Rob Blanchard, which was Dee Dee's father, he later explained that he had trusted Dee Dee's claims. He said he had no reason to doubt her when she insisted their daughter was seriously ill. He described feeling shut out of medical decisions and unaware of the extent of the fabrication. There was one instance he talked about where Dee Dee said that Gypsy was having seizures and it was causing her eye to become lazy. And she would go and have a surgery, and then she'd have another seizure, and then the eye would go back to being lazy again. But he didn't see that.
No, just the mom did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But he also told her that she was a fantastic mother for paying attention, being so caring, being so doting. She was in beauty pageants when she was up to the age of 4. Just being a child who lived in Louisiana where they have big beauty communities.
Louisiana does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know
There's
that.
a lot of beauty pageants.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot down there.
Some damn good food too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's where
I love to go to Baton Rouge just to eat.
That's where
go.
the gators are, and I bet they got gator food. I heard gator meat's really good.
Yeah, I think I've had gator jerky. I think I was in like Tennessee or something.
Really?
Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It was good.
That sounds good.
I don't know. It tastes like I don't know. It tastes like water chicken. if you put a chicken in a swamp for a while, maybe that's what gator do. I don't know.
Not even 15 minutes in, and I'm already almost spitting water everywhere. Thanks a lot, Dick.
Kind of struck me as like kind of greasy, like duck, something like that.
Never had duck.
No, I wouldn't seek it out.
I heard random note on the radio. What was it yesterday? Somebody was saying that snakehead meat's actually really good.
I have had rattlesnake and rabbit chili, and it was phenomenal.
Rabbit chili?
Rattlesnake and rabbit.
That's what happened to my pet rabbit.
I've had rabbit and I've had squirrel.
You had squirrel?
That's where your rabbit went, not to me.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyways.
Weird things to squirrel.
Anyways, continue on. That's great, Chris.
But behind the scenes, there was signs that something wasn't right. Some doctors questioned the inconsistencies in Gypsy's medical history. One Missouri neurologist suspected Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a form of abuse in which a caregiver fabricates or induces illness in someone under their care. But no formal report was filed, and the cycle continued. Excuse me. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated parts of Louisiana. Unfortunately, Dee Dee and Gypsy's house was one of those that was in that path and got destroyed. They ended up being evacuated because of her illnesses and moved to Missouri, where they got a Habitat for Humanity house that had no rent and a donated vehicle to them.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Dee Dee used the chaos to her advantage. Medical records were lost. Doctors were displaced, and with a clean slate, she and Gypsy relocated to Missouri. There, the community embraced them. Charities built them a small pink house. Local news outlets featured Gypsy as a brave child battling terminal illnesses. Organizations sent them on trips and provided financial support. In a quote from Christy Blanchard, family members later said that Dee Dee seemed to thrive on the attention. They described her as a controlling, manipulative, and determined to maintain the image of a devoted mother caring for a sick child. What you didn't know is the same thing happened to Dee Dee when she was a child.
Really?
from her
Because
mother.
I was just going to ask, like, what got her, like, what made her want to do this to
So
Gypsy? There's got to be a reason why.
in documentaries that I watched on this that were from family members,
hmm
they said that one of her sisters said that her mom would always be like, oh, well, Dee Dee's not feeling good. Oh, you guys can go outside and go play, but Dee Dee's staying inside. She's not feeling good. And the mom would baby and dote her and make her stay inside, not let her go out and do things,
hmm
and say that she was sick and in the hospital multiple times. Now, the other side of that is there is not, other than what has been told in documentaries, there is no actual proof of this. There's a couple pictures that are floating around out there, but there is no like records and things like that from her when she was a child.
Okay.
As far as you know.
As far as
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
obviously I'm not going to have access to everything that
Oh, yeah.
everybody else does.
Yeah.
So what I
Exactly,
could
yeah.
find.
Once again, we're not a library here. everybody.
Damn it. Damn it. I thought I had one here.
We do have full-time jobs. We don't spend every minute of our life trying to figure out everything that went on in the world regarding every case we do. But,
Right. We do our research that we can, and then we work our jobs as well.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, that would kind of make sense on what made her want to do this to, Gypsy,
Mm-hmm.
if that's the case. But like you said, we don't know, but
We only know from what we have
Oh, yeah.
learned from family members and from interviews that are out there that
Yeah.
are public records.
because at first I was thinking like maybe her mom just has some kind of mental health,
disorder,
issue
yeah,
or
'cause
something.
There
that-
are some personality disorders out there. I think like I think borderline personality disorder, I think, has a touch of that. I actually dated a girl long time ago that had a mother that had issues with that, and it was an attention seeking weird behavior that she had. I mean, she could have had multiple things, but if she wasn't the center of attention, like this lady she'd throw herself on the floor and start cackling and screaming. And it was, and just seriously,
while there was people there,
while there were people in the house, and do it on like Thanksgiving Day,
oh my God,
just to get everybody's attention. And then it's kind of like a, hey, look at me. Like some people just have I don't know. I'm sure there's some issues out there that people can't have where it's just,
that would, I mean,
you gotta,
that could have been something Dee Dee was doing too, because getting all that public attention, media and news when they had that house made for them in, Missouri. I mean, she was getting all this attention. She was getting free stuff and she was using it. And so, yeah.
I think it might have been like a jealousy thing even with her mother. Like maybe she was upset
Could have been.
because her daughter was getting it. It kind of seemed like she was treating her like a doll,
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
But Gypsy wasn't sick. She could walk. She could eat regular food. She wasn't oh my goodness gracious.
Wish I had a horn.
Cognitively,
Oh.
you can clap. Cognitively impaired. There's actually a video from the documentary that I watched, which was from the prison confessions and had family documentary, like family videos, where she jumps off and dives into a pile of snow off of the front of the house.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And she was so excited and so happy about it. And then there's videos of her recording her mom when they went to 4th of July parades where she's laughing and happy, and her mom loves it. Neighbors began to notice small cracks in the story. Gypsy occasionally stood up when she thought no one was watching. She whispered to friends online. She questioned her mother's claims. And as she grew older, she began searching for connection and for escape. Those searches would eventually lead her to the internet, to secret conversations, to a man named Nicholas Godejohn, and to a plan that would end in murder. But to understand how this story unfolded, we must go back to the beginning, to the early years of Gypsy's life, and to the woman who controlled every aspect of it. I am brain farting.
Karen, yes. Karen, I do agree up there. She's a horrible, vile person. A lot of the FOIA stuff I've looked through a lot of it, but there's so much stuff.
No, the Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
there's so much stuff there. I haven't had a chance to look through it all, but
once again, like we have a certain amount of time to dedicate to certain things. We're gonna dig to a certain degree. Yeah, once again, yeah, we're not gonna be like greatest news source under the sun.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but once again, we do this because we enjoy talking about these kind of things and just trying to discuss and see what people think about the minds of these people and why why things happen the way they happened. So
carry on.
From the outside, it appeared to be a story of a devoted mother caring for a chronically ill child. But beneath the surface, it was a carefully maintained illusion. By the time Gypsy was a toddler, Dee Dee was already reporting that long list of symptoms: breathing issues, muscle weakness, seizures. Doctors performed multiple tests, but the tests rarely resulted in supporting Dee Dee's claims. Still, she persisted. And in many cases, physicians deferred to her descriptions, trusting a mother's account of her child's health. As Gypsy grew older, the alleged conditions multiplied. Dee Dee told people her daughter had leukemia. She said Gypsy had muscular dystrophy and would never walk. She insisted that she had developmental delays and the mental capacity of a 4-year-old. I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's duplicating it.
What blows my mind about it is that they were doing all these appointments, these doctor's appointments, and nobody else. How do you not notice that? Being a doctor, I don't understand. And I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying she's in this wheelchair, supposedly, but how do you not notice? It's so fucking crazy to me.
So as we move on, there is a doctor who came out and said, hey, this doesn't make sense because everything X, 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 and X and Y don't match up to A, B, and C.
Yeah. Well, and finally somebody, but how many doctor's visits did they do? And it's like
he didn't want. Gypsy quoted and claims that she had seen at least 100 followers, like 100 doctors. Well, hey, from the UK, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, hello from the UK. I was going to say, we did have somebody, comment a while back saying that they were fans of us from the UK. So I don't know if that was you or not, but well, yeah, thank you for watching so much.
Thanks for joining us. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, sleep well. Brad Blanchard, which was Gypsy's father again, later explained that he was often kept at a distance. He said, Dee Dee controlled the medical information and made it difficult for him to participate in decisions. He recalled being told that Gypsy's health was fragile and that her conditions were severe. The medical interventions followed. Gypsy was placed in a wheelchair, she was fed through a tube, and she underwent procedures that were unnecessary. Procedures that have had lasting physical and psychological effects. According to reporting and medical summaries, many of these interventions were based solely on Dee Dee's descriptions of the symptoms, not an objective finding. This pattern is consistent with Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I'm sorry, it is repeating part of this.
I knew nothing about that before I heard about this Gypsy Rose case several years back. I knew nothing about that condition at all. I remember somebody telling me about it years back, and they're like, you ever heard of that or whatever? And I was like, no. And then they explained it to me, and I'm just like, wait, what? And then I started looking into this because I didn't know nothing about this when it first happened, whatever. So, but yeah, I'm just like, wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like, like those people that get on a WebMD too and that kind of thing. It's amazing what you can diagnose yourself with.
Oh, yeah, when you get on WebMD. Hey, I've been notorious to do that back in the day where I'm like, God, I don't feel good. And then you get on there and you're like, oh, no,
Yeah, I made a mistake at Googling something because my throat's been bothering me for like a couple weeks. And I think I strained something in my neck. And I get on there and they're like, yep, you're going to die. I'm like, that's it. Like,
That's yeah.
immediately, like the first things that pop up on there are like, you've got a tumor the size of a, something, and
Yeah.
all this other shit. And I'm just like, man,
Yeah.
I'm done looking. I'm done
Yeah.
looking now. I'll just, go take a nap and try not to
Yeah,
think about
right.
it.
Enjoy the rest of what I have here on the earth.
Yeah, exactly. Just,
It's like, I pee more than 3 times a day. Well, you got an enlarged, swollen sac. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, what?
yep, you've got the beatus.
You got the beat.
Yes, and that's what it is, man.
Anyways, we're
Sorry.
sorry there, Classroom Jackie.
No, you're fine. I apologize. Some of this did duplicate when I was writing it up and went to save it.
Oh,
So it
that's okay.
glitched. So I'm
We're
trying
not here to judge.
go through.
Unsafe Snuggie WebMD told me I have a 5-pound tumor and possible toe fungus. I have neither.
Better than having 5 pounds of toe fungus.
Yeah.
That would be.
Why you been holding out on telling me this, Anyways, carry on.
In Gypsy's case, Dee Dee's behavior fit this pattern. She accompanied Gypsy to every appointment, controlled the flow of information, and discouraged questions, as she isolated Gypsy from people who might challenge the narrative. But even in those early years, there were moments when the truth surfaced, moments when Gypsy's abilities contradicted the story Dee Dee told. Neighbors recalled seeing Gypsy stand and take a few steps when she thought no one was watching. Family members noticed inconsistencies in her medical history. Some doctors questioned the diagnoses. I said that right?
Diagnoses.
Diagnoses.
Diagnosis.
Hey, it's the thought that counts.
I even asked after I said it.
I miss my horn. It's coming back next week.
Oh, God.
I'll find it and hide it.
Nope. I'll
Noting,
get a saxophone. I'll sit in here.
I thought you were going to say you have a sack of horns. I'm like, what? What do you have, a fetish collection of horns?
I just collect horns. Yeah. I drink out of them. The Viking thing. Leave me alone.
Thing. All right.
family members noticed inconsistencies in her medical history. Some doctors questioned the diagnoses. Diagnoses.
Jeez, don't scare everybody by yelling.
Holy
I'm sorry.
Shit.
Everybody probably to turn their TV down.
You're going to wake up Karen.
Yeah.
All right, proceed.
Noting that test results didn't match Dee Dee's claims. Did that hurt?
No, leave me alone. Talk.
One Missouri neurologist documented concerns about that possible Munchausen's by proxy, but without a formal report, the patterns would continue. Sorry.
That's our new sound effect that we do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's Inspector Gadget. Remember that shit? Anyways, ADHD. Wow, ADHD's kicking in. Carry on.
For Gypsy, the move to Missouri meant deeper isolation. She was homeschooled, had limited contact with peers, and she relied entirely on her mother for information about her health, abilities, and her age. Dee Dee told people Gypsy was younger than she actually was. She altered documents and misrepresented birth dates. This allowed her to maintain the image of a child in need of constant care, even as Gypsy entered her late teens. But despite the layers of control, Gypsy began to sense that something was wrong. She noticed that she could move her legs more than her mother claimed. She questioned why she needed medications that made her feel weak. And she wondered why her mother reacted so strongly when she asked about her real age. These questions marked the beginning of a shift, a slow, quiet awakening that would eventually lead Gypsy to seek answers outside her mother's control. And those answers would come from a place Dee Dee couldn't fully monitor. The internet.
Yeah, it was starting to take off then.
Well, it's funny. I was reading and they said something. I was looking at Munchausen by proxy. By proxy would mean, a child or a, somebody that you're governing or something like that. But they said that Munchausen by internet now is a real thing.
What?
Trying to actually gain support and sympathy through online means.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Wow.
It's almost created its own
thing, yeah.
As Gypsy entered her teenage years, Dee Dee began altering her daughter's age. She forged those documents, changed the birth dates, making her appear younger. The manipulation served a purpose. A young child was easier to control, attracted more sympathy, and was less likely to question the story. But Gypsy was growing physically, emotionally, and mentally, and with that growth, questions came. She questioned, oh my,
You all right over there?
nope,
Get it together.
it's not me. It's
Hey, you wanted to do this whole narrative, you know? Could have split it up.
It completely glitched and copied everything.
Oh, well, that's technology. That's
Well, that's why you
Monksy.
should memorize it.
That's
since everything
Monksy.
I told you.
Munchkin, Munchkey by Proxen Internet, you know?
Munchausen by
Yeah,
internet?
that's fine.
Munchausen by tablet.
All right.
Gypsy found the internet. At first, it was a small window into a world she had never been allowed to explore. Fantasy forums, social media, online communities. But soon, it became something more. A place where she could talk to people without her mother listening. A place where she could be herself. A place where she could imagine a life beyond Dee Dee's control. In 2012, Gypsy met a man online who would change the course of her life. Nicholas Godejohn. Their relationship began on a Christian dating website, but it quickly evolved into something more complicated and far more dangerous. Nicholas introduced Gypsy to sexual explicit fantasies.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, this is when they start getting into the
coercive dynamics
and a world of violent roleplay. According to Gypsy's memoir and interviews, he created elaborate fantasy personas, including a vampire alter ego named Victor, who embodied violent and disturbing impulses. Gypsy, isolated and desperate for affection, became entangled in his world. She stated that she came up with multiple personalities to match his. One of them was Ruby. One was Candy, and she had a bright rainbow wig.
Oh, yeah,
that
I
she would
remember
wear.
that one.
Ruby had, like, darker than that red hair.
Oh, yeah.
There was all sorts of personas that she came up with to please him because she wanted to keep him.
Well, it was unpleasing, but it was also just probably trying to make him comfortable so that, you know, he would find solace in being with her, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man, you got to drink Dubby.
Yeah, she's Dubby-less over there.
Gypsy, isolated and desperate for affection, became entangled in his world. Meanwhile, Dee Dee remained unaware of the depth of Gypsy's online life. But she sensed something was changing. When Gypsy attempted to meet the man at a convention in 2011, Dee Dee intervened, showing forged documents to prove Gypsy was a minor and threatening to call the police. The message was clear. Gypsy belonged to her, and any attempt to escape would be punished. But Gypsy's online relationship...
online relationship
with Nicholas continued, and as their bond deepened, so did the conversations about escape. At first, they discussed running away. Then they discussed Gypsy becoming pregnant. Then they discussed Nicholas taking her to Wisconsin. But each plan seemed impossible under Dee Dee's control.
I think running away probably would have been the best answer.
Yeah.
And at that age, like, I mean, did she realize how old she was? Because, like, at the time where all this stuff went down, like, you should have just left.
I mean,
the cops can't come find you and legally return you to your mother if you're over 18.
Yeah.
They can't force you to go back to where you were, you know? So it's like,
yeah, I mean,
at the end of the day, I'm sure they look back at it, probably think that probably was the better move.
Yeah.
But
how hard would it have been? I mean, she wasn't keeping her, like, as far as we know, like, chained up to her bed at night.
Right,
so
exactly. It
escape
like
out your window when mom's sleeping or something. I mean, but you know.
Yeah, but then again, you've been in a situation in which you've been under her care and control for so long that the idea of doing that is not only terrifying, but it probably seems impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, true. You got to quit yawning over there.
I was ready to talk and then I yawned.
What, are we boring you?
No.
Yeah, right.
I'm relaxed.
The jellyfish not enough for you?
I'm relaxed.
All right.
I was relaxed. I lost my
The
place.
caffeine.
Yeah.
Stanley
We have
cocktail over
we
there.
have sponsors for a reason. They help keep us
My
awake.
shaker bottle had to be tossed. I
Oh,
couldn't make
yeah,
my
we're not
own.
even getting into that story.
Find your place while Tim and I stand here and berate you.
Yeah.
I was already nervous about this episode.
She's going to call
It's really
for
messing
Unsafe
it up.
Snuggie for backup now.
Please
Just
help me.
Deep breaths and calmness.
You just got to say, I'm not a piss the fuck off.
I'm not.
Anyways.
But their relationship existed entirely in secret. Dee Dee believed she controlled every aspect of Gypsy's life. Her medical care, her mobility, her age, her identity. She had spent those years crafting a narrative in which she was helpless, dependent, and incapable of making decisions. But the idea that Gypsy might be forming a romantic relationship, let alone an adult one, threatened that story. We mentioned that she tried to meet a man at a convention in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
When Dee Dee thwarted that and made it stop, she retaliated and destroyed Gypsy's computer, threatened to call the police, and then made sure that the guy thought that she was a minor.
Wow. I'm surprised she let her have a computer, honestly, with how controlling of her that she
Yeah.
was. I'm surprised she didn't even think like, boy, she could get out into the internet and reach
The
out into
outside
the world.
and talk to people.
So,
Right, yeah, exactly.
I'm honestly surprised.
She stated in one of the documentaries that I watched, which was her Confessions in Prison,
Yeah.
that she would sneak her mother's computer and use it, and that worked for a while until her mother started locking it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, she's going to catch on
Then she
there.
got her hands on a cell phone or something and then continued. But
right.
yeah. I mean, it's hard nowadays to try to control that or stop that from happening. You know, you almost have to like live in an Amish community where that's not available to you.
Yeah.
Anywhere. You know,
True.
I mean, how kids will walk to the library and use that. I mean,
yeah.
According to Gypsy's later interviews, Dee Dee also physically restrained her and withheld food as punishment. The message was clear. Any attempt at independence would be met with consequences. But Gypsy's relationship with Nicholas continued. They communicated through secret accounts, shared fantasies, and discussed plans for a future together. At first, they talked about running away, where Gypsy imagined a life where she could walk freely, eat what she wanted, and make her own decisions. But each plan was impossible under Dee Dee's control. Slowly, those conversations shifted. Nicholas's fantasies grew darker, his alter ego personas became more violent, and Gypsy, who had spent her life under control, became increasingly entangled in his worldview. According to her memoir and later interviews, Nicholas began suggesting that the only way they could be together was if Dee Dee was no longer alive. Gypsy has since said that she felt manipulated, pressured, and overwhelmed, describing Nicholas as someone who took advantage of her vulnerability and whose behavior became increasingly disturbing. Now, this is where I have, like, I watched the documentary.
Yeah.
I read a little bit of her memoir, and I've watched other documentaries that were on this.
Yeah.
So between the three of them, I don't think she was manipulated. And I know I said I was going to be the neutral one here that's like not either side's, but I really do think she drove that part of it.
So here's the thing with her, I don't believe a fucking word she says. I just don't. She's a, pathological liar, plain and simple. And there's stuff that I've read too that states that she wanted him to kill her. So I think she was just saying that. I have some, interview footage here that I'll show a little bit of it here in a little while, where when she first got taken in and got questioned, and she's in this room talking to this cop, and she's changing her story, and he knows her bullshit, and she keeps saying, "Oh, was it suicide? Was it suicide?" And this, detective's like, "No, we're not going down that road, Gypsy. Just stop. We're not going down that road." And then she's like, "I don't know who did it. Oh, I'm sorry that I did it." And it's like, you know what? Really? Hello there, Into the Weeds podcast. Hello.
Hello, welcome in.
Welcome in.
Thanks for joining us.
I feel like I've heard of that show, that
It's
podcast.
a good one.
Okay. Oh, great. Way to put the pressure on now. But it's just like I said, I don't believe her. I don't think maybe he did mention it, but
Well, in one of his prison interviews, he said that he has a secret that he will never tell that he's taken to his grave that has to do with the murder.
yeah, there's something else going on.
There is.
We're never going to know, unfortunately, but it's just her. Most of what comes out of her mouth to me is just complete bullshit. It's dog shit, So, no, you're fine. You don't have to apologize for that. Thanks for being here. But
I
anyways,
do know that
go ahead.
Since she got out of prison, she said she takes full responsibility for this. Does she actually mean it?
She's saying that because she's out right now and she wants everybody to be a part of her pity party. Like, oh, I'm so sorry and this and that. And it's like, no, I don't
Hey, Bird,
truly
welcome
believe
in.
she, yeah. Hey, Bird, what's going on, buddy? I don't believe that she is, like I said, I don't know. Chris, what do you think? I don't know. You jump in on this shit too,
It's hard because, I mean, from the outside looking in, honestly, when you guys talked about discussing this week, like I personally, I'd heard about it in the news and stuff, but I don't listen to a lot of news either. So if that tells you anything.
The news is
anymore.
depressing.
Well, and that's why.
Yeah.
I think every time you turn on the news, it's like
people say they listen to the news to start out their day, and I'm like, why? When you watch it, it makes you not even want to go outside.
I'm almost, I'm in my 40s, and I'd almost rather turn on Scooby Doo.
Now we're getting somewhere. Scooby Doo.
Must be in a better mood, man. But it's hard. I mean, looking at it from my perspective, I look at it like, man, I mean, the crap that this girl went through her entire life.
Yeah.
And everything that she was exposed to that was unnecessary, this had to have some substantial impact on her mental state. And
sure.
As a human being, like, should it drive you to do or be a part of what happened at the end of this? No. Like I said, it's just much easier to be able to walk away. And at least the guy, like, he should have known. I mean, being from outside and having, I don't know what kind of upbringing he had, but he was a part of the real world. Like, you think he would have just been like, hey, why don't we just like pack our shit and leave?
Like,
they
did that after they killed her. There's footage and stuff. I was watching the hotel, and then the bus stopped, and then they took that bus out of town, and it's like,
and they mailed the knife.
But this is like a lot of the stuff that we cover with these killers, serial killers and stuff, that something drives them, something mentally messed them up. Sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes with the childhood is usually where it all begins. But like you said, should that have gotten to where she was at and what she had done or was a part of?
Right.
No, but that's the same we can say for a lot of the killers too. Should Ted Bundy have done what he did? Should Ed Gein done what he did?
Hindsight is hindsight guy 2020 and all that good stuff. But I think that honestly, like, maybe it did play a little bit of a role. Maybe she looked at it like, hey, like, she felt like she couldn't leave. It didn't matter where she went in the world if her mom was alive. Like, I just can't see that perspective. I just can't understand how you come to the conclusion that if you moved to freaking Nome, Alaska, like, that would not remove you from being attached to.
You're carrying all that.
Yeah.
You're carrying all that, the guilt. You're carrying all that weight of everything. It's just, like I said, I don't believe her. I don't think that he persuaded her or she felt persuaded or whatever kind of lies she's trying to spew whatever from her mouth. I don't. I think they probably both, equally had a part in wanting to make this happen. And it will get a little bit further in. So I'll let you continue on because this gets me fired up. Dubby's kicking in.
By 2015, Gypsy and Nicholas were discussing a plan that would end Dee Dee's life. According to court records and Gypsy's own statements, the idea emerged gradually, shaped by Nicholas's violent fantasies and Gypsy's desperation to escape. It was a plan born not from a single moment, but from years of isolation, manipulation, and fear. And it would soon set in motion one of the most shocking crimes in recent American history. You have to remember, this is only 11 years ago that this happened.
Yeah. So Into the Weeds podcast made a good comment. It's not showing up on the big screen for some reason, but it is over here. Her chromosomal, I don't even know.
Chromosomal?
Yeah, micro deletion has psychological side effects. So
yeah, because if you look at her characteristics, you can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
So I wonder what some of those side effects are,
Well,
because I do believe there's a lot mentally going on. I mean, she was destroyed mentally from all this stuff that her mom was doing.
And a combo of both of them. I mean,
yeah, from what Into the Weeds is talking about, and then what everything that, Dee Dee did to her. Yeah, it's going to play some effect, and it's going to mentally screw her up. It's pretty much rewired her brain.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of like, I mean, I don't want to make the direct comparison, but like, it's like a crime of passion or something like that. Like you almost like, you walk into, somebody attacking your wife in your house or something like that, and you kill somebody. Like that's probably a lesser offense than a premeditated something or other. But
yeah,
how premeditated is it when you're mentally not as capable of developing solutions to a problem due to the fact that you're not 100% there. And then the person that's doing it along with you already has, like, he wasn't like a straight shooter with logic written all over him. Like, I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't.
It was some rational approach towards the situation. Had it been like an outsider that came in and be like, well, no, that's probably a bad idea. I mean, as most people would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. An outsider, if an outsider would have heard any of what they were talking about. Yeah. Go ahead.
By 2015, Gypsy Rose was living two lives. In public, she remained the childlike, wheelchair-bound daughter of a devoted mother. A girl who, according to Dee Dee, suffered from leukemia, muscular dystrophy, seizures, and a long list of other conditions, and who needed constant care. But privately, Gypsy was a young woman in her early 20s, a woman who could walk, who could think for herself, and who had begun to understand the extent of her mother's deceptions. And she was in a secret relationship with a man who lived hundreds of miles away. According to court records and Gypsy's own statements, the idea of killing Dee Dee emerged gradually. I just talked about that.
I'm sure.
One of your interviews.
I'm sure. Like, because she was younger and stuff, and it doesn't make it right, but yeah, she was doing this long distance relationship, and I'm sure she really had that passion, and she wanted to be with this guy forever and get away from mom. But like you had stated, Chris, there's easier ways to get out of that household. A lot, easier ways. Go ahead. You were saying interviews?
Nicholas's darker persona, Victor, became central to these discussions. Gypsy has said that Nicholas insisted Victor was the only one capable of freeing her. She described feelings of being pressured, manipulated, and emotionally dependent, a dynamic that experts later noted bore similarities to... Say that word again.
He just is like, what word now? Coercive
control.
Anyways.
Still, Gypsy participated in the planning. She has never denied that she participated in that. She 100% claims she helped plan the plan.
Yeah, and she claims that she was sitting in the other room
in the bathroom with the shower running, crying,
covering her ears.
and
Bullshit.
she could still hear her mother screaming, and she wanted it to stop, but she was afraid to make it stop.
Bullshit. How many stab wounds again?
I will get to that.
You can't. I mean, yeah, you've heard cases where one guy has done like 50, 60 some stab wounds. This was not done by one individual. It was not. And the fact that Nick is saying there's something that he's going to take to the grave, something else going on, he helped. Plain and simple. She was in the room. She helped. She can't, don't sit here and feed us this bullshit that you were crying in the bathroom covering your ears. No, you wanted mom dead just as much as this guy did, or maybe you were the only one that wanted mom dead and you convinced him. So
Right.
anyways, Dubby, I love you. But so
He's got to help me for a second.
Okay.
I forgot to add one thing to
that's
this.
fine.
The plan that, in interviews after her release, and that she reportedly said she takes responsibility for her role, acknowledging that she should have sought help but felt trapped and terrified. The plan they eventually settled on was simple and devastating. Nicholas would travel from Wisconsin to Missouri. Gypsy would let him into the house while Dee Dee slept, and he would kill her mother, and then they would leave together. Gypsy later said, I felt like it was more.
So I found 14. They were talking about 14 stab wounds there, but so I have some of the crime scene footage that, public, knowledge. We all can look this stuff up, but I'll share it.
We are not going to share a picture of the body. Don't worry.
And
you won't see that.
Well, one of them's close, but anyways,
it's close, but it's not it.
If you just look at everything and you look at how much blood and the mess that there was, like I said, this wasn't Nick, all Nick. It both played a part. And the fact that, have you all seen the videos her and Nicholas sent to each other before? Yeah.
Yes. I unfortunately watched most of them today, and oh my God.
Yeah. And then the fact that
some of the pictures she took too, even with the knife and everything.
The post they did on Facebook right afterwards.
I'm about to talk about that.
That's what come on.
I'm about to talk about that. Like it's, oh my God. Into the Weeds, thank you for bringing that up, because it was that one was an interesting one.
I'm not a forensics guy, but I can tell you just from accidentally cutting a piece of PVC PEX and sticking a really small, stupid utility knife into my arm accidentally. That was a great day. It looked like a murder scene. I mean, man, holy jeez.
There was blood on light switches and the door.
Yes. So Into the Weeds said in one of the videos, she tells Nick that she's going to sacrifice her daughter when she is old enough.
Yeah, it is oh my God.
I remember that. That is, oh my God.
And do you remember the pictures that she shared to Nicholas in her multiple costumes? And the one that was like the Harley Quinnish, and she's holding a knife like this to her neck?
Yes. Carry on.
This gets deep.
Carry on, because if I was hooked up to a blood pressure monitor right now, that fucker would be
We can see it above your head.
Yeah. So, she wanted to sacrifice her V card. Yeah. Oh God. Look, I'm getting so pissed off. I got a leg cramp. That's what happens when you get old.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
so
go ahead.
In one of the interviews that she did, one of the videos, they were texting back and forth, and she said something along the lines, "Here comes your daughter, because I want you to take my V card," and called him daddy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember all that daddy shit. What
and
the
then
hell?
She said that he became her master.
Yeah,
you are getting riled up over there.
There is some sick shit there. Yeah, that's sacrificing the daughter and all that. That's a whole, that is, but carry on.
Gypsy later said she believed this was the only way out, and the only way to escape a lifetime of fabricated illnesses, unnecessary medical procedures, and psychological control. It was a plan born
And
Oh, cool.
ADHD's kicking in.
Yeah, seriously.
Go ahead. Back to the narrative.
I'm sorry, guys. It was a plan born from years of isolation, manipulation, and fear. And in June 2015, they put it into motion. On June 10th, 2015, Nicholas Godejohn boarded a bus in Wisconsin and traveled more than 600 miles to Springfield, Missouri.
That's
You're
a lot.
traveling 600 miles for a girl that is supposedly in a wheelchair, mentally disabled, like mentally handicapped,
Yeah.
exceptionally sick, and you tried to meet once at a movie theater and her mom shooed you away.
Yeah, it's...
There's pictures of her dressed in a Cinderella dress and wig with him.
Yeah. Like I said, nothing adds up. Nothing
Not
adds up.
at all. Not at all. He carried with him a knife that Gypsy had purchased online. Gypsy met him at the bus station. Now, contrary to what people have said online, this was not the first time that they had met in person.
Yeah.
Obviously, they met at the movie theater the first time.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that story.
According to Gypsy's later statements, the meeting was awkward and unsettling. She described Nicholas as behaving erratically, slipping in and out of his victor persona, but the plan was already in motion, and Gypsy felt she could not turn back. That night, Dee Dee went to sleep in her bedroom, and Gypsy let Nicholas into the house.
Yeah, I do remember that too, Into the Weeds, yeah. That he said Dee Dee was very nice, kind that day, and kind to him, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that another case of Gypsy's lying, because in her documentary she did in prison, she said that her mom didn't approve and told her to go follow her and move down, and then when she went into the bathroom, she was slapped for not moving.
That's what I'm saying. So normally, they always say there's two sides to every story. Well, I've heard there's three sides, okay? Side A, side B, and then the truth, right? But in this case, Gypsy, just everything that she tells is not the truth, and it's a lie. And like I said, in the interrogation video that I've seen, she keeps moving her story around so many times to that detective, and he knows, and he keeps telling her, are we going back to square one now, Gypsy?
Well,
and then she goes, I shouldn't have done it. I didn't mean to. And then he goes, okay, we're getting somewhere now. And then he's like, and then she's like, well, I didn't do it. And then he goes, well, who did do it? And she goes, I don't know. And then he goes, okay, now we're going back to square one.
The thing that got me was in one of those interrogation videos, which was after they got picked up by the cops, when he tells her that her mother is dead. It's almost like I know this, but I have to have some kind of reaction type thing. And it's the most dramatic cry I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Kind of like Murdaugh.
Oh, yeah.
It was very dramatic.
It's kind of like the same cry that she tried to fake when she split things off with Ryan in the car. Sorry, that was in the Love After Lockup thing. Yeah. But, yeah.
According to court records, Gypsy handed Nicholas gloves and a duct tape. She then retreated to the bathroom, covering her ears. She later said she could not bear to witness what was about to happen. Nicholas entered Dee Dee's bedroom. What happened next was violent, but the details are well documented and do not need to be repeated here. What matters is this: Dee Dee had died in her home that night. Yes, after the killing, Gypsy and Nicholas stayed in the house for several hours. Later, there was some... Now, obviously, we're not going to get every single thing correct.
Didn't they, from my understanding, they went in the same room?
No, not in the same room, in the room next door. Yeah.
Next to her mom's room after they...
And had sex.
Yeah, movie tears, Bird. That's absolutely correct.
Yes.
But so if you're so upset, right? You're so upset that you're crying, covering your ears in the bathroom, but then after your mother gets murdered, hey, let's go have sex.
Let's go do it.
Come on. You are, don't hand me that you're in the bathroom. If anything, you were maybe taking a shit in there, but I don't cover my ears when I'm shitting and cry.
Don't you?
Unless I had bad Mexican, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's just,
Too much Pepto
Chris,
can do some funny things.
I want to know, because you had made a comment earlier in the week, and yeah, I'm putting you on blast for this, okay? So you had said that with all the shit that she had gone through with her mom, that you kind of, to a point, I forget the way that you worded it. I'll let you word it because I don't want to twist your words.
Like
and
I
shit.
said earlier, I don't. I'm not going to say one way or another, and I'm not going to advocate for the girl, because of what she did. Honestly, did what I was basically saying was, did what she went throughout her entire life play a serious role in her perspective and her engagement and her this these things that she met up with this guy and did.
Yeah.
Like I think it did play like a pretty significant role in not preventing her from making the rational decision just to walk away as opposed to doing what they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And as I sit here, hell, I think I've learned more sitting here. I know you guys have dipped more into this than I have, honestly. But listening to it as it goes on, yeah, it's kind of more like there's some deception there. There's some, the flip flopping and the not being able to come up with, a story as to what actually happened, and that at least come clean about it.
And the fact is that she's out.
She only spent 10 years in prison, by the way. And Nicholas Godejohn got sentenced to life in prison plus 25 years.
Yeah. I don't understand. How did she get that? Like, she really persuaded them. And it sounds like she supposedly was persuaded, right?
Well, she also pled guilty. And we'll touch on that here very briefly in a minute. But she pled guilty for it.
Degree.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you are out walking around now, a free person in the world.
And the guy who murdered your mother for you, because he wanted everything to do with you and to be with you, even though he thought you were in a wheelchair and had all these things, is sitting behind bars for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and he's still not even spilling everything. He says he has a secret and he's going to take it to his grave.
In her actual age when this happened, she was 23.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. It's not like she was a younger kid and was not mentally, I mean, yeah, she had a lot of mental issues and stuff. She was screwed up because of the upbringing, but she claims she was manipulated by him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds to me like she manipulated the law because she only did 10 years. I don't understand. You should not be out.
Yeah,
you should not be.
Yeah, a certain amount of it's who has responsibility in these cases. It's such a hard conversation to have as to culpability and who's actually responsible for something. And a lot of these cases go this way, where one person ends up taking the big cake, and the other one.
Yeah, 5 weeks before she turned 24.
And maybe a punishment that's not, and someone gets a punishment that's not so hateful. I mean, it's crazy to look at it and say, well, yeah, because of everything she went through, and this is what she did, and well, is she a danger to society now? I mean,
now she's a mother.
That's what our our justice system has moved to, is more of a rehabilitation kind of thing instead of a punishment. We've been trying to rehabilitate people and find ways of improving people and bringing them back as useful members of society. Is she that? I have no idea.
I don't trust her.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd go live with her either. But at the same, but at the same time, to say, is she rehabilitated due to what she, the punishment and what she went through? I have no idea.
I'm not saying nobody can be like,
I guess what I'm asking is
saying,
she completely culpable for what she did due to the fact that she went through what she went through? Like, does that play a role in that punishment?
I think it's only a matter of time before something causes her to snap again. I mean, I'm just saying it. like I'm saying, I know people can be healed and stuff like that and they can get out. But when you commit a crime to this degree, okay, this is murder. This is not like you had 5 crack rocks under a bridge while watching 2
It's not
homeless
like-
guys
yeah.
fuck a
Right.
horse.
It's not like you
Okay.
bit a ear off of somebody.
Exactly. Yeah, sorry, Chris. I really painted a good picture
There's
for you
stuff
there.
going on today. Oh my goodness.
Anyways, but no, I don't. It's all an act from her. It is, and it's a matter of time. I could be wrong. I'm not a freaking shrink or psychologist, but it's a matter of time. She's gonna snap, and that's just what I think. I don't think 10 years was enough for her to fully understand what she had committed, because she's literally, and the detective in that interrogation video had stated, she's literally she's got herself to believe that she didn't do nothing. She doesn't know what happened, because people get to that point.
I
Certain
really
people can.
Want to know how now that she's a mother and she's with Ken after she divorced the other guy. Yeah, I agree. She definitely is master of manipulation.
Yeah.
Do you think now that she has a daughter and she's taking it, that the cycle is going to continue?
I don't know. I mean, you were talking about sacrificing daughter a little while ago. I mean, I don't put it past her. When I found out she was going to be a mom, yeah, unsafe Snuggie. Her accent and voice literally changes every 3 to 5 business days. That's so true, because she does do different voice and stuff. Something is still not right mentally in there. I highly doubt she got the help that she needed or saw any psychologist or shrink while she was in prison. I don't know. Maybe she did. I didn't
hope
look
she
that
did.
far into it.
Yeah.
But I just, there's something still not wired right in her brain, and she's not completely healed from this. I mean, of course, like emotional wise attachment from her mom. Yeah, you're never going to get healed that you lost your mom, but I'm sorry, you lost your mom because of you. This isn't like a freak accident where your mom died from a heart attack or stroke or something. You lost your mom because you fucking did it. You wanted it. It's that simple. Ah, Jesus. Murphy.
Get this guy a beer.
Considering her behavior online, she has zero remorse. Absolutely. Blames Nick and her mother. Her behavior during parole was abhorrent. She literally violated her parole on video numerous times. That's true. She did. She did during the love after lockup thing. She violated it multiple times. Her stories change constantly. She takes no blame for this, even though she claims, I take blame. Or wait, what voice is it going to be today? I take blame. I did it, No. She takes no blame, and she was a part of it, whether she got Nick to do it or she helped, which I fully believe.
100% think she did.
I think she did too. She spent 8.5 years in prison writing messages and talking on the phone. Go to the Google Drive and look at the prison emails. She had a slave fandom situation in prison, and wow, that I did not know.
I'm
so
gonna
I'm
have
gonna
to look into that.
Yeah, thank you.
Into the weeds. Thank you so much for giving us some of the stuff to look into.
Into the Weeds, I've been told, is like the god of
they are
this
awesome.
story.
I've listened to them a couple of times.
There's a lot of that stuff that goes on inside
cool.
of women's prisons, though, too, like kinship groups and that kind of thing that happen.
He would know.
That's a big thing.
I'm not going to ask.
He worked in a prison.
Well, they actually almost form like family groups in which one takes the role of the like male, and one takes the role of the female, and they both have children, and they have children in a group. It's basically like almost like a gang type deal where they band together in kinship groups.
Yeah. That's absolutely wild. I just, she is, Bird said it too. She's a master of manipulation. It's as plain as that. I don't think Nick manipulated her into doing this. I just don't. I think it was the other way around. And I think in the interview that I've seen, he kind of makes it seem that way too as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just don't. I think it was the other way around. Because Nick seems to have a pretty straightforward story. And I'm not saying he's perfect at all. He committed this too, just as much as her, but he's also serving the full sentence that she should be serving too as well. So it's just, but he seems to stay consistent with his story.
Yeah.
Interviewing, because what else does he have to lose right now? Yeah, what else does he have to lose? He's doing life. But I'm sorry, why would he be? I just, the fact that he's carrying this to his grave, whatever he's carrying, I would just spill that shit. Who cares at this point?
You're getting life in prison
cares?
anyways.
Drag her down with you.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have a question. So, say he decides, we know. Well, we're running
Oh, that's
long for this
fine.
one.
Oh, it's going to go. Don't you give me a time limit on this one.
Oh, no.
So,
I'm just telling you, like, put on your shoes. We're going to have to go take a jog after this. To get Tim to wind down a little bit.
Nick is autistic.
I
have heard that.
A quick question, and this for you. Like, I need your help on this.
Mm.
If Nick decided that he was going to spill whatever secret was that had to do with Gypsy and Dee Dee's death, if it is enough to get her rearrested, can she be retried?
Not for the same crime.
Yeah.
No. I mean, she's not.
Could they try her for something else and put her back in jail?
Wouldn't they need some real hard
Well, it would have to be. It can't be
evidence
like
or
really
whatever.
that relevant. I mean, maybe in a civil trial they could try her civilly.
Yeah.
And someone could sue her or family of or something like that, which may or may not have happened. I have not heard of anything in regards to that, nor did I,
So if he spilled whatever he is taking to his grave, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us know, it's probably the fact that she took part in this too, helped him. They really couldn't do anything about that.
Well, yeah.
She'll probably go back to jail because
she is
a kleptomaniac. Yeah.
Yeah. Stealing things will get you back there.
Hey, into the weeds.
Yeah, true.
Do you remember when it was going around that she supposedly had a sweater that said "handpicked by my grandma in heaven" when she found out she was pregnant? Do you know if that was ever confirmed, if that was true or if that was false? I couldn't find anything on that, but I thought that was messed up.
Yeah, that's a little, yeah.
All right, now back to the
Yeah, go ahead.
thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Time out on both of you.
Oh.
Enjoy the breather. After the killing, Gypsy and Nick stayed in the house for several hours. They gathered belongings, they took money, and then they left. First to the motel that Nick was staying at, and then on a bus back to Wisconsin. And the interesting thing with the knife, they actually sent the knife back to Nicholas's house through the mail. Because they thought that was the safest way. Okay.
And that's true. And I would pronounce your name up there, but I don't want to butcher that.
Can I just call you B?
Yeah. How can you force anyone to do what she claims? 600 miles away, like you had stated, she buys his bus ticket to go to her. She provided the weapon. She opened the door, but he did follow through life for both.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. It would be premeditated.
That's it. So it's just like, what happened there with the law? And nothing against the law, whatever. The law is the law. But I'm just saying, what happened there to where she only gets 10, and she pleaded guilty. So it had to have been some bargain deal there where if you plead guilty, we're going to knock. But I just don't. But it's just like she did, like B just said up there. Sorry. It's like B just said, you brought him to you, provided the weapon, opened the door. You know what I mean? So that's what, and then you do all that. You want mom dead, but then you're crying supposedly in the bathroom because you're upset. No, you're not. You wouldn't have got all this started if you were so upset. Carry on.
In the days that followed, Gypsy and Nicholas posted on social media. One post in particular, made from Nicholas's home, alarmed neighbors and friends. It read, "That bitch is dead."
Yeah.
Very nice.
Now,
that's what we're going to do. Not only are we going to have sex right afterwards. What
Gypsy said, again, this is from her confessions in jail.
Yeah, which personality?
Exactly. And this is why I'm like starting to get kind of fed up is she has multiple personalities. 100%.
Yeah.
I understand her mom treated her like a child, but what if one of those personalities was her being a child?
Could have been. What did she say?
She
I'm
said
curious.
that the reason she did that was because she felt remorse. And even though she wanted her mother gone so she could be free, it was still her mom and she still loved her. Bitch, you did not love your mom if you had her fucking killed. Pardon my French.
So we put the bitch is dead.
To get attention. Family members and friends and neighbors were calling and concerned. They sent police in. One of the neighbors, I believe one of the neighbors actually went to the house to check on it because all the curtains were still closed and no one was answering the door or the phones. And they share a Facebook account.
We're feeling remorse. Because so we're going to write the bitch is dead.
Right. We know she doesn't actually have multiple personalities. We're just saying.
Well, yeah, she is a
sociopath.
Yeah,
100%.
One of her alters was a kitty.
Yes, I remember that.
It was Kitty, a 10-year-old. So, okay, go ahead.
Authorities traced the IP address to Wisconsin. Police arrived at Nicholas's home, and inside they found Gypsy, alive, walking, and not the childlike figure the community believed her to be. The discovery shocked everyone who knew the Blanchards. Neighbors who had believed them, doctors who had treated her, and all the charities that had supported her for years. That truth unraveled quickly. Gypsy could walk, was not terminally ill, and not cognitively impaired. She had been victim of a long-term medical abuse. The murder, horrific, but the truth behind it was even more disturbing. Investigators soon uncovered years of fabricated illnesses, unnecessary medical procedures, and psychological manipulation. They found the evidence of Munchausen syndrome by proxy. They found those forged documents, all the altered birth dates, and a pattern of control that shaped those aspects of Gypsy's life. The case was no longer about a murder. It was about the circumstances that led to it, and the world wanted answers. Didn't you have an interview to play?
I was going to. Which one? The one of him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we can play it in a minute because I'm in their
lengthy.
arrest. Oh, okay. We'll just skip them then. We can just show pictures if you want.
Yeah. I have those too.
We'll put those wonderful
scene.
pictures up there.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're not wonderful.
No. Anyways.
Oh, are you talking about the Yates? Andrea Yates?
Oh, I remember that one.
That was who drowned all of her children because she thought she heard voices.
Yeah, we'll get there, but that's in probably season 8 because I have to have the mental capacity to get to that one. Them kid stories are just
After we had that watch thing,
the watch thing was horrific.
That messed me up the rest of the weekend.
I didn't
even like talking about it.
And I normally like eating food, but I didn't even want to eat after that, Anyways,
yes.
Go ahead. So we're getting into the arrest.
We are.
All right.
So 2 days after the murder, they put that post up. Police get a welfare check into Wisconsin and find her there alive. They arrest her, take her and go to John to the police station. And that's on June 15th of 2015. So she was incarcerated from then until 2023, like 2015-ish.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't really find the dates of when it actually started. Her trial did.
Yeah, I don't.
There's a lot of information. I know it's out there, but again, the
whole trial's out there too. You can see the whole trial, but
and there's a ton of information. I could pull every single date out, but we work full-time jobs.
Yeah,
and
we
have
could
families.
go. We could go.
The discovery stunned the public. The narrative of the helpless sick child had collapsed in an instant. And it did it again. As the investigation unfolded, Gypsy began to speak with detectives. According to police reports and later interviews, she described those years of control, isolation, and fabricated illnesses. She explained that she had believed she was sick for most of her life because her mother told her so. She admitted to her role in planning the murder, and Godejohn was arrested alongside her. He confessed to killing Dee Dee, and he said he did it because Gypsy asked him to. The community struggled to reconcile the truth. For years, they had supported Dee Dee and Gypsy. They had donated money, built a home, and offered emotional support. They had believed the story of a dying child. Now they learned that the child had never been sick and that she had helped plan her mother's death. The case drew national attention, documentaries, news outlets. The experts began examining the layers of deception, and the public began asking difficult questions. How could this have gone unnoticed for so long? How did so many doctors miss the signs? And what responsibility did Gypsy bear for what happened? Those questions would soon be addressed in court. The legal proceedings that followed the murder of Dee Dee Blanchard were unlike any Missouri courts had seen. This was not a simple homicide case. It was a case shaped by years of abuse.
Prosecutors? Jeez.
You.
Faced a complex challenge. How do you prosecute a young woman who helped plan a murder when she was also the victim of one of the most extreme cases of medical child abuse in recent history? Gypsy Rose Blanchard was charged with second-degree murder, but from the beginning, prosecutors acknowledged that her circumstances were extraordinary. Investigators had uncovered extensive medical, like Munchausen's by proxy evidence. Experts noted that Gypsy had been conditioned from childhood to believe that she was helpless, sick, and dependent, and had been isolated from peers, denied education, and subjected to unnecessary medical procedures. She had been told she could not survive without her mother. These factors played a significant role in the prosecution's approach. In July 2016, Gypsy accepted a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The sentence reflected both accountability and compassion. Prosecutors argued that Gypsy had participated in planning the murder, but they also recognized that she had been a victim of the severe long-term abuse. Gypsy later said she believed the sentence was fair, a statement she has repeated in multiple interviews, including those referenced in her open tabs. She has consistently expressed remorse for her role in the crime and has emphasized that she did not view herself as blameless. Nicholas Godejohn's trial was different. He was charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutors argued that he had stabbed Dee Dee multiple times and had traveled across state lines with the intent to kill. His defense argued that he had acted out of love for Gypsy and that he had significant cognitive and psychological challenges. But the jury was not persuaded. In 2018, Nicholas was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 25 years for armed criminal homicide? Or I know it's armed criminal. I can't
we'll go
remember
with
the
that.
word. Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm sorry, guys. I am failing tonight.
He had weapons and he did bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The trials brought closure to a legal case, but they also sparked national conversations about abuse, mental health, and the failures of medical and social systems. How could so many doctors miss the signs? Why did no one intervene? And how did a young woman become so desperate that she believed murder was her only escape? These questions continue to shape public discussions about this case. For Gypsy, prison became a place of transformation. She received therapy, she gained independence, and she learned the truth about her medical history. And she began publicly speaking about accountability, manipulation, and the long-term effects of her mother's control. Themes reflected in the recent interviews and statements that she's had. Her story did not end with the trial. It entered a new chapter. When Gypsy Rose Blanchard entered prison in 2016, she was 24, but in many ways she began life for the first time. For the first time, she had autonomy, she had access to education, had medical evaluations, and confirmed what she had long suspected: she was healthy. Prison for Gypsy became a place of clarity. In interviews after her release, including those referenced in multiple interviews, Gypsy had said that incarceration gave her something she had never experienced: structure, independence, and the ability to understand her own identity outside of her mother. She learned the truth about her medical history, her age, and about the abuse that she endured. And she started to take accountability for her role in the murder.
Oh, well, good for her. Maybe we'll give her a cookie, ship her a cookie in the mail or something.
I'm good on that.
Cookie on it that says "fuck you." Anyways,
Gypsy has stated that she is a completely different person now, someone who has grown, learned, and taken responsibility. In December of 2023, after serving 85% of her sentence, Gypsy was released on parole. She drew national attention. Documentaries, interviews, and public discussions resurfaced. People debated her culpability, her victimization, and the broader implications of her case. But Gypsy's focus was on rebuilding her life. She did get married while in prison, which ended up in a divorce.
yeah, we all know about that one.
Mhm.
Well, was it Ken ended up leaving her while she was in prison too, because they were engaged or going to get engaged or something, and then Ken couldn't deal with it and ended up leaving her, but then came back into the picture when she got out.
Right, but also there was that time when she was pregnant, they were like, well, what if it's the ex-husband's and then it's Ken's, and they had to do a DNA test and yada, 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 yada.
Yeah. You were going back to when you're talking about when they were in court, and they said that, I think you said prosecutors or whatever had said that, because of the abuse and she has remorse for it and stuff, and that's what helped get her this lesser sentence.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it was because she got it mostly because they had sympathy for her for the Munchausen by proxy abuse.
Yeah.
But still gave her some time because she was a part of this. I still believe she should have spent the same amount of time as Go to John.
There's so many other people in the world that come down that have different conditions and stuff, but a lot of people still don't have sympathy for them, and they still end up doing life for their full term. That's what is mind-boggling to me, is it's just like, well, she had to go through this abuse with her mother mentally and blah, blah, blah.
People who have done less than her, like even just helping to plan or be premeditated and part of it, that did not get 10 years and got more than that. I'm not siding. I am 100% not siding. And anybody who thinks I am, you can kiss my butt. I 100% think that the reason she got a lesser sentence is because of everything her mother did to her. Yeah. I also think that they should have reconsidered and given her a longer term.
Oh, it should have been a lot longer. She should be doing the same as Nick.
Maybe not life in prison, but 10 years isn't enough to realize what you actually had a part of.
It's like B said up there, I think it was B, that Nick is serving life for the both of them. He is, plain and simple. And I firmly believe she should be serving life too as well.
I don't see life. Like, I don't see life. And
why?
I know
Why?
people are going to say this.
Why?
I don't think she deserved life in prison. I do think she deserved longer than 10 years in jail. She did help premeditate this murder, at least from what we know from interviews and things like that. And because Go to John isn't 100% speaking on everything. She deserved longer than 10 years in jail. And it should have been like she had to work maybe 20, 25 years in jail would be better for her. I see that they wanted to let her out after she spent 85% of her term and she was on parole. But again, as it was pointed out earlier, she did have multiple parole violations, so she should have gone back to jail, and she didn't.
No person committed, someone who committed. So it's just, I think life, because it doesn't matter. Okay, so she went through all this mental abuse from her mother, but that still does not, it doesn't give you the right to commit the act that you did. She helped with it. I don't care if for some odd reason she didn't help him. She did in a way, because she got him out there. She opened the damn door. She handed him the weapon. You are a part of this. Look at Manson. Manson helped. He helped facilitate these murders. And
he spent life in prison.
He spent life in prison.
And he died.
He didn't physically kill anybody, but he facilitated this shit. He's an accomplice to murder.
She has the chance to be out in the world free. She gets to spend time with family, has a significant other, and has a child. That was weird.
Yeah, anyways.
Has a child and has the opportunity to live her life. Whereas Goda John is stuck in prison. And he was just as big, was a part of this. Maybe, and I'm going to be the dumbass who's somebody's going to say, call me out for this. Okay, so maybe he did do all the stabbing. She was still a big part of this, and she could have stopped it.
That's why I don't think 20 or 25 years, like you were saying. I mean,
I don't think life, but 25 years would have been a long time too.
I don't.
She wouldn't have
why
gotten out until she was in her 50s.
But why? So if you don't think life, then you're almost kind of agreeing with what prosecutors are saying, though, because of the mental abuse from the mom.
I agree that I don't agree with her only getting 10 years. I do agree that they should have taken into account, and they did, the abuse that she went through. But as it's been pointed out,
that's true, David. If she did not buy the knife, would he have found one or bought one? I'm sure, because she still would have. She had the motive to kill her mother. They would have found a way
in
to
the house.
What's that? Yeah, they make those to eat steak. That's true. That's why criminology Chris studies steak. He does.
Her in the house with a knife that's not the murder weapon, with her holding a knife to her own neck in one of her cosplay costumes for him.
That's what I'm saying. 20 or 25 years would not have helped this girl or fixed her at all. And I just said it with Manson. Well, then if that's the case, if Manson along the same lines, Manson should not have done.
Manson also had been in and out of jail before he was 30. Multiple times. He spent 16 years of his life in prison before that.
True.
Gypsy didn't have any kind of record because she was also considered not being dependent or capable of these things.
I just think people go lightly on her because of the mental abuse from her mother. It doesn't give you the right to do what you did. Murder is murder, plain and simple here, guys. Murder is murder. She should be doing life.
All right.
That's simple.
What do you think?
I think Tim needs to take a jog.
Somebody back me up in the chat, damn it. Unsafe, where you at?
Unsafe, don't agree.
And don't tell them about my remote issue.
We weren't even going to bring it up. You just did it to yourself.
Yeah, it's hard to say, honestly. Once again, did this play and I'm not like really going devil's advocate on this whole thing.
Oh, but you
entirely. But it's did what she went through as a child have an impact on her decision making? Okay. If you say yes, then there's a certain amount of like kind of makes you wonder, like, I mean, they weren't gonna try her. They didn't try the insane plea or anything like that. Like, she wasn't nuts. So like you said, I mean, she knew what she was doing at the end of the day.
She did. Also, when they went to medical appointments, Dee Dee was the one who made and controlled the narrative. So she wasn't allowed to speak and was told to act like a child.
She used to put her hand, Dee Dee used to put her hand
she used
on.
to squeeze her leg or squeeze her shoulder leg. Or squeeze her hand to keep her from talking. And if she tried to, she would squeeze it harder.
And David, what you're saying, in our opinion, do you think he traveled all that way for the sole purpose of killing her mother?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the only reason. Why would you jump on a train from a bus for 600 miles to come meet some?
I mean,
you don't get it. You don't have to comment on this. You don't have to be a part. But why
threw you out?
You're good. We understand you. Why would you jump on a bus to go to somebody's house when she is trying to convince you to be the one to kill her because she wants to escape? Yes, he 100% did it for the sole purpose of killing her mother.
I mean, some people could argue that, though, and say that it was because he loved her and he wanted to be with her. Oh, okay. Why is my camera randomly turning? Oh.
I used the wrong hand to move.
But anyways, but they had discussed it prior. So yeah, anyways, go ahead. I'm going to fix that. The camera likes you guys. Continue on.
Hello.
Hey, there
Hello.
it is. Good day.
that's the end of what I have. Now it's just up for us to
I'm thinking that's one of the reasons he got life. Well, true, but I don't know. It'll go back. I already fixed it. It just takes a second. But there's a lovely trash can. But yeah, it could be one of the reasons why he got life. But they had discussed it prior, so why isn't she doing life? Because yeah, he came all that way, but she was the one that persuaded him to come all that way. But according to her, he persuaded her. Right. Okay. I mean, we could go on for hours about this, and
Yes,
I know I
we could.
appreciate everybody in here because we've had a big following number in this live, and that's awesome. And everybody for coming in here, that's amazing. But I've already spoken my point of view on it.
No, I don't think you've got that across yet.
and like we said,
The corner doll wanted the spotlight. Yeah, the cam's on it.
No, I think actually
Nick-
David took control of that because it went straight for the trash can.
Again,
Nick
like we
asked her, wait, I want to, okay.
we all have full-time jobs and work multiple times and have families outside of this and other responsibilities. We don't get to look at every single aspect of this case.
Yeah,
We do this for
but that's fine.
Yeah, and it's
entertainment.
actually kind of nice having the people come in here that do come in here because a lot of them have done a lot of research.
Yeah, it's
in
cool.
regards to
Yeah,
this. So it's nice to see because we're interested in this stuff. And once again, we work full-time jobs. I travel the entire week. I come home. So having B, it sounds like you've looked into this a couple times. You know, it's nice to get everybody's perspective, and we get some additional information too. Like, please correct us if we're wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're not
because we don't want to know. We're not
again,
like the.
we don't have all the time in the world to sit
True,
around
and
and do
that's
all the
fine.
research
That's
because we
fine.
all work.
We don't have to explain ourselves.
Jackie,
It's all
don't
good.
be offended because someone tells you you're wrong either.
I'm not
FOAs are
offended.
available for anyone to review Into the Weeds podcast. Yeah, I will check that out. I will definitely look into the Weeds. I know of them too, so that's. I mean, the fact that they came in was appreciative,
Yeah, it was
definitely.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
if you're still in here, Into the Weeds, thank you so much. So, anyways, we will cut that. We're at an hour and 37 here, so we will cut that. But no, we could go on for a long time, but point blank, I think she should still be doing. And David agreed there too. She should still be in prison. I don't think 20 or 25 years or 30 would have been enough. She was a part of this. She facilitated it, whether or not she was in the bathroom or whether or not she was there stabbing with Nick. Murder's murder. She was a part of it.
Yeah, like you said, I think your point about Manson was very relevant. Like if you're gonna be a part of the conspiracy to commit it, you need to be held responsible.
That's like people that end up doing life that have their husband or wife killed and they have a hitman do it.
Right.
They
It's
still
basically
facilitated
the same
it,
thing,
you know?
only the difference was she just didn't pay the guy. I mean, other than that.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
very true what B said. A ton of debunking can be found there. The public was lied to, and that's absolutely correct. But yeah, thank you guys for jumping in. If you don't already subscribe to the channel, please do. We do appreciate it. Follow us, on the old TikTok and the Facebook and stuff. Murder Show 66. And next week we will be covering the Shoemaker Killer, which is a crazy case.
He's actually in our intro if you watch the video.
Yeah,
come by and chat again because this is actually really nice having.
Oh yeah, we like having the chat. The mods in here, Unsafe Snuggie, we appreciate you definitely, and Classroom Jackie, we appreciate the mods doing their thing, and everybody getting along in the chat too. Thank you very much.
And again, we're not siding with anybody here. We're talking about a case that had national attention and doing this because we wanted to. We did a lot of
some
research.
people have very strong feelings.
Hey, I'm just glad Gypsy didn't come into the chat because that would have made things awkward.
Oh yeah, we'd be like, okay, that's the end of the show. Thank you.
Let's not have that.
But anyways, so join us again next week, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And other than that, we hope everybody has the rest of a good weekend and a good week next week. Be safe, guys. And other than that, I will let Classroom Jackie take us the hell out of here.
Same crime time, same crime place. See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye. Goodbye.